Did you know something new is invented every 10 minutes? Join us as we speak to the innovators reinventing our world here on planet Earth and far, far beyond. Welcome to GTWN Now, a podcast brought to you by the Global Telecom Women's Network and sponsored by CMS Global. GTWN Now introduces the movers and the makers at the cutting edge of technology who are committed to keeping us all connected. In each episode, we invite a leading expert to share her experience building life-changing inventions in places and spaces that don't yet exist, and the inspiration they must muster to tackle the impossible. We also ask our guests to share tips, tools, and strategies to reach your own moonshot. I'm your host, Rosali Gitau, founder of Bixi FinTech for Women and Global Telecom Women's Network International Board member. Welcome to GTWN Now.
To listen to one of the episodes of the offer by the Global Telecommunication Women Network. My name is Carla Cico. I am a board member of the network. And today I am very pleased to introduce to you Claudia Dominguez, who is from Brazil. And with her, we will discuss the direct-to-cell and the future of global connectivities. Now I give the floor to Claudia to introduce herself a little bit.
Hi, Carla. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk this very interesting topic. I am a Brazilian lawyer. I work for the telecom sector for over 25 years. And I'm acting now as a partner at Mota Fernandes Advogados, that is a full-service law firm in Brazil. I am the head of the infrastructure area, such as telecommunications, energy, sanitation, and other areas. And I work with M&As, and I work with a complex contract as well. And I can tell you that I haven't, talking about the telecom sector, I can tell you that I worked with different point of views of the telecom sector, as I already worked with different players and stakeholders of the industry. First of all, I started my career at the Anatel, that is the Brazilian regulator for the telecom sector. I worked also as a consultant, international consultant for the governments of Angola and Cabo Verde. And then I worked in a large Brazilian company that is Brazil Telecom, that worked in services as fixed, mobile, and broadband in Brazil. And then recently I worked as a legal director at Viasat, that is one of the biggest satellite companies in the world. So maybe I can tell you of my view, consider these different point of views that I worked with.
Okay, so it's very clear that you are very passionate about the sector. And so tell me, why are you so interested in satellite sector? That seems to be your more recent experience.
Yes. In these last 3 years that I worked specifically with this industry, I saw, as you said, it was something that you can describe as a passion, because I saw, a huge jump of development of the satellite sector. I can tell you that at the beginning, this technology, satellite technology, was always seen as, how can I say it? Maybe not accurate to this term, but something like a second class, industry. because it was not seen as a high quality service. It was seen as, like huge prices or not accessible to common people. And then maybe something like 3 years ago, the game started to change a little bit for the industry. I think that the arrival of the LEO technology, that it's a low orbit, brought some interesting things for the sector, for the industry, because maybe it came with a more easily to use technology. It was more easy, to install and to buy, etc., and also cheaper, more available for common people. And then, for example, I can tell you in Brazil, in 2022, we had something like 300,000 users of satellite. And now we have more than doubled this in 3 years. Because not only because it was not a coincidence that it was the date that the year that Starlink entered in the Brazilian market. It was not a coincidence, but as I told you, the technology, the service started to be more reachable for common people. And then it was not only because Starlink, just got some clients from the competitors, but the service, the quantity of users grow with the market grew with the entrance of Starlink in the sector.
But I think that linked to the use of satellite, there is also a very important point, the fact that today the satellite the satellite connectivity allows, as you said, more people to be connected. So why connectivity is so important in today's world, regardless how it come to people. I mean, talking about connectivity in general.
In general. So connectivity today is not a matter of convenience anymore, but it's important for social inclusion, for security, for human development, I can tell you. So being connected gives you opportunities, gives you access to education, to healthcare, to service, to financial service, to government applications, to employment opportunities. So in places where you didn't have anything, because Brazil, for example, is a huge continent. It's a huge country with continental dimensions. It's enormous. So you have a lot of places that are not reached by any kind of infrastructure. For these people that have nothing, absolutely nothing, satellite is essential. It's the solution. And if it is simple to use, if it is simple to buy, if it's not that expensive, you can have it. You can have access to this kind of service. And now, when you don't have any access to digital technology, to digital services, what happens mainly in rural areas or hard to reach areas is that these people stay isolated. So they don't have social growth. They don't have, they have a lot of migration because young people want to have access to education. And so these people leave the rural areas just to have access to more, to education, to other kind of service. So today, to have digital access means to be included in the world. And more than this, more for people like us that have access, that can have access to digital services, we want to be connected all the time. We want to be connected. Nowadays, we cannot have these desert areas. We don't admit anymore to being disconnected.
So I think that there is an additional point to say in favor of satellite connectivity, the fact that there is no need for very expensive to build very expensive infrastructure, because you're talking about Brazil, but there are other parts of the world. I mean, talk, for example, about Africa, the continent, where, to build physical infrastructure is very costly. So some operators, they don't do it of course, for economic reasons. So the satellite connectivity is also convenient from economic point of view.
Yes,
what do you think about that?
Yes, you're totally right. There are places where it's not viable to build infrastructure. It's a fact. The companies want to have economic return for their investments. Okay, so if they can, these companies, the MNOs, the mobile operators, if they can use this infrastructure, the satellite infrastructure with good quality, and don't need to build their own infrastructure, it's a gain. It's a gain for the satellite industry. It's a gain for the mobile industry as well. They can use this in a complementary way to reach the uncovered areas. So I think that what is going to happen now is more like a hybrid construction of the network, solution for the networks. They are going to use the terrestrial network where it can be covered, and use the satellite to these uncovered areas.
But as you said, satellite connectivity in reality has been there for a while. So most likely the big change has been, the turning point has been the arrival of Starlink, that somehow has democratized the access to satellite connectivity. And recently also Amazon that launched Leo. So how do you see the development of this technology, not only from a point of view, from a technical point of view, but also from economic point of view? You are seeing that it's going to be accessible, becoming more economic, that is going to, as you said, to become a complementary part of the infrastructure of all the telco operator, or is going to stay in the hand of a few players?
No, I think that it's not only the arrival of the LEO solutions, I think. I think that geo solutions are getting better as well, because the problem with the geo solutions is that they didn't have a lot of capacity to give. So what is happening now is that the major companies are investing more in more high capacity satellites. So not only the LEO are going to benefit of all these hybrid solutions that are going to happen, but also a lot of geo good solutions as well. So what I think is that the world is giving importance, the real importance to this to the solutions that were not that it was not considered before, but it was not maybe ready to be considered as a part of all this system, all this infrastructure system. What I think is going to happen now, you have a lot of good players, a lot of players investing in the industry. What is going to happen is that, first of all, I think that that there is space for all the competitors, because you have so many areas that are not attended. You have a lot of, you see in Africa, in also in Brazil, in huge countries, that you have a lot of remote areas, or hard to reach geographically speaking, these areas as well. For example, we have the Amazon forest in Brazil. How can you are going to build mobile towers there, or also fiber is impossible to reach these areas. So satellite is the solution. It's not only the solution because of this. Also, yeah, you can see like climate events, like earthquakes, or a lot of things like this, where
Hurricane.
yes, hurricanes and things that can destroy the network, terrestrial network. Satellites are resilient. It's a resilient infrastructure. Now it can be used in other kind of applications as well. We had some climate things here in Brazil, and the only solution that you had was the satellite system. All the other networks were not working, but you had the satellite. So it's also a kind of resilient. It's a way of you have a resilience of the network. And what I think, that you mentioned Amazon Leo. Amazon Leo is arriving, is being launched. I think they are planning to launch this year. I think it's going to be a huge player as well. They are planning, they are going more. What they're saying is that they are going to attack more the not only the B2C but B2B. So the idea of the Amazon, at least, is what they are saying, but is not only to go to B2C, but going to B2B and to offer their service, together with the cloud solutions that they have, AWS, and try to reach and to be a complement of the other players' infrastructure. The idea is that, of course, that in B2C, they are going to be huge, as well as they are going to have a large market base clients, because they have Prime, they have a lot of clients already in their system. I think that it's going to be a very important player as well.
Good. So it's clear that the satellite can guarantee good connectivity, not only for a daily use, but also, as you said, for security during potential natural disaster. And clearly this is going to help, on the other hand, also the development of the economy. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Yes, exactly. And what I think, talking about cell phones, the access to satellites direct from your cell phone, this is going to change a lot, I think, because I think it's going to be a game changer, because what is happening now, and there are a lot of partnerships being, already announced. And if you can access the satellite network through your cell phone, it's going to be, a huge difference. It's already happening, but what is happening now is that you are not going to have, at least by now, huge quality, like broadband in your accessing the satellite. But you can reach at least the basic services, So these not attended areas, not covered areas, if you are there and you can use your cell phone to access, at least to send a message, at least to access an emergency service, at least to, send some voice message or something like this, or you can have some access for people that didn't have anything. What is happening, and I think it's going to grow a lot in these next years, is that these partnerships with MNOs, between satellite operators and these MNOs. Because I don't think that satellite operators are going to launch their own services through mobile. I don't think it's going to happen now. What is going to happen is this kind of partnership where you can keep your number, you can keep the relationship that you have with your MNO operator, but you can access the satellite services anywhere, from anywhere. So where you don't have other kind of coverage, you're going to access satellite services. For example, it happens, and it's very interesting, because as I said, in large countries, you have a lot of shadow areas where you can't, you just stay isolated. So it happened 1 month ago, for example, a boy here in near the capital, okay, very near to a capital in Brazil. He got lost because he was climbing a mountain, and he got lost, and he stayed like 1 week lost because he didn't have any kind of service in his mobile. If he had, access to satellite, for example, he could simply send a message or to share his location. He would be found in 1 hour. So for this kind, it's going to be very interesting, not only for people that need access, that has nothing else, as I told you, that are isolated, not only digital, but socially speaking, but also for people that, like to go for adventures or like to hiking, like to cycling, like to running in these places that that are not covered. And also for security, and also for regions that that you need security for any kind of for army, for example.
So there is a lot of that we could explore more, but you have already indirectly introduced the issues of direct to cell, meaning that will be the first step to global connectivity. So just to make a final comment, connectivity is important, is fundamental for many reasons. Digital connectivity is even more important nowadays. So how will you wrap up our conversation to to give an additional flavor about how important is satellite and how direct to cell is the first step to a real global connectivity.
Well, it's like a futurologist game now. Something like to read the future. I don't know if I can do it, but what I think, we are only at the first step. We got this first step to have something where you had nothing. I think this is the first step, and it's very important. But I think that we are going to see a next wave of development, of new technologies, of new solutions. We have also the G2D, that is the Internet of Things, the drones that are going to be, through satellite services are going to operate. We are going to see, I think that this technology is going to be very important for agribusiness, for example. I think that there are too many different applications that are going to surge in this next years. So I think that we are just at the beginning of something that is going to be very interesting, not only for agro or for rural areas or for remote places, but maybe in our day-by-day communication in a long-term period. Not now. I don't think that it's going to happen now.
Well, so I think that together with the AI revolution, we will see the satellite revolution.
I think I totally agree. I think that AI, of course, it's already a reality, né? So it's happening already. I think that it's not a satellite revolution, but a more simple way to have connectivity anywhere, everywhere, in high velocity. I think it's going to happen, not in a short period, but it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a satellite solution only. I think it's going to be this hybrid solution. Yes, that is going to happen.
So, Claudia, first of all, thank you very much to be here, and thank you for your so passionate way of talking about the satellite and about connectivity. And to all our viewers, I thank you very much to have listened to us, and see you.
Thank you, Carla. It was great.
I want to thank our guest for joining today's episode of GTWN Now, and give a big thank you to our sponsors, CMS Global, for making this episode possible. Today's podcast will be available on our website, gtwn.org, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when new episodes drop. I'm your host, Rosalie Gitau, GTWN International Board Member, wishing you a week of wonder.